Hello everyone, Jace here from Lantern's Eye Story. Playing Kingdom Death Monster is like climbing a mountain full of the crevice. One moment you think you're going up, the next moment you fall. Sometimes the fall feels too long, consuming your wills and hopes. But we don't give up. We can't give up. And Snow now knows that there are friends who can give him hands. And we climb on. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are facing the biggest crevice of our campaign, the King's Man. Let's see what happens. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that alarm button. Luckily, we have one more year to prepare before we face the King's Man. First, we're gonna stop this annoying Gorm climate. As we learn the Song of the Brave, we can drive the herd of Gorms away. To do so, we have to first kill a Gorm. Snow will lead Maya, Dante, and Ivory to the hunt. Before they depart, Snow went to the drums to heighten his senses with the beat. But he will no longer be consumed by the insanity. "I can see you've changed," Maya said. "I just remember the things that I once knew but have forgotten." "What is it?" "That they live in us." And he looked up to the sky, and so did Maya. After they departed, they came across an open field that looked strangely familiar. There was nothing but some broken bones and stain of blood. Ivory realized where they were. "Snow, this is where we hunted the first lion, remember?" "Is it? Huh, what a coincidence." Snow recalled the memory of the first battle, where they all met. Ivory shared the tale of the battle that happened here to Maya and Dante. The memory of the first victory cheered them up a bit. "But the Gorm caught our scent first and ambushed us out of nowhere. A dangerous start, but the team are veterans now. And the battle that day was truly remarkable, but the margin of this video is too short to contain." After the battle, they sang the Song of the Brave, and the herd of Gorm ran away, and the terrible storm was gone with it. With all the resources and the time we have left, we finished the first preparation, and finally 4 warriors were picked to face the King's Man. Sophia, the lucky lady with the spear, Dante, the shield bearer, Ivory, the mighty axe-wielder, and Snow, the Twilight Knight. The 4 of them marched to meet the King's Man, who was waiting outside the settlement. Facing the King's Man gives me chill. The King's Man is a tough enemy. Its armor is too thick to penetrate, and its basic sweeping attack can shred our armors like paper, let alone its dangerous combat skills. If we try to catch him, it will maintain distance, keeping you at the end of the tip of the halberd, and it will dodge your attacks with its weird king's stab. But no matter how dangerous the foe is, we are here to fight. The battle has begun, but the King's Man was too far. We took the time to salvage some of the resources. Dante braced himself to block, and they all positioned themselves for the next attack. King's Man, who was standing there like a statue, suddenly moved and closed the distance with a few steps. He stopped from a good distance from Dante and turned toward Ivory. The halberd flew like a fishing hook, but Ivory dashed away from its attack. No damage to each side for the first time. Snow was the first one to move in. He dashed toward the King's Man and swung his sword, but the mysterious stab eluded him. He fell to his knees. "I'm okay. We need to get used to that stab. Keep attacking." That is the key to the battle. With enough time and chances, they might learn the King's stab to chase the evading monster. Sophia stepped in to protect Snow. A spear chased the King's Man like a snake, but no luck this time. The attack missed. Keeping the monster at bay, Sophia shouted to Snow, "Snow, get up!" Snow stood up and surged to attack the King's Man again. This time, King's Man didn't just evade the attack. Dismembered leg flew high. Sophia screamed. Snow clung to his sword to stand up. King's man stood still as if nothing has happened. Dante ran to Snow and stood between him and the king's men. He raised his shield to block the attack. Ivory shouted from behind and swung her great gags. The king's men evaded her, but she surged and followed with another attack. The attack struck the faceplate of the king's man. A crit! The king's men screeched. It's the king's man's turn now. King's men looked at Dante and Snow and swung his halberd. Snow knew that Dante's block won't be enough. He pushed Dante away, and the halberd struck Snow. Snow was bashed away to the side and crashed to the ground. Blood was flowing everywhere. 5 blood tokens. An abrupt ending. A death that is so sudden, unfair, and unacceptable, and yet so conclusive. I can't die like this. Where is my sword? Snow tried to shout, but the words were drowned in the throat clogged with blood. Through the blurry vision, Snow watched the king's men killing the others. And so the settlement burned, and our campaign ended. And finally, he closed his eyes. Snow, wake up. A voice that he once knew, a familiar voice from a long past. Shade? Shade, or a bright figure that looked like her, was standing in front of him. Snow found himself lying in a dark room. Am I dead? What happened? You're not dead. Where are we? What is this place? We're inside the Lelik, Snow. From here, I was watching you and the Dunwatch. Dunwatch. The name waked Snow up to the memories of the fight that killed him. Dunwatch! What happened to the king's men? Are they alright? Shade shook her head. Can you save them, just like you saved me? I'm sorry, but I can't. This relic only affects those of the older. What is this relic? It is designed for an endless loop of battle against the Nemesis. I don't have much time to explain. Snow, you have 2 options. 1, I can send you back to the Order, freeing you from this fate. You can send someone else here to build another settlement and fight the Nemesis. Or, I can send you back to when you first came to the settlement. There, you can start again to fight these battles one more time. And now, the choice is yours. Going back won't be easy. You'll face all the hardship, the pains, the agony again. I'll understand you no matter what you choose. Snow stood up. The choice was obvious. His steps were firm. One more chance is more than he ever wanted. To see them, to protect them, and to fight with them. Before he goes, he turned to Shade and asked, Shade, how about you? Will you be freed after all the Nemesis are gone? If that day comes, it will come, and that day, let's go back to the Order, together. Shade watched as Snow faded into the light. A tear ran down her cheek. All she can do now is to wish for a good fortune. At the end of the light, Snow heard the lion's roar. It was about to crush a girl. Hey! Snow shouted, and he held his sword firmly in his hands. The familiar faces were looking at him with confused eyes. My name is Snow, and I'm here to fight with you. And he ran toward the lion, and the other survivors followed. And the story begins once again. Finally, the Kingdom Death story has reached its ending. Thinking back, this whole story actually started from that ending. And I am content. Hope you liked it too. Unfortunately, Season 2 won't come out right away. There are many reasons why, but first and foremost, I have to play it before making the videos. Still, for the Kingdom Death fans, I promise you that I will return to Kingdom Death Monster one day in the future. For the future of this channel, I'm returning to my home ground, the video games. I've been uploading some videos about Islanders and the Hunter Call of the Wild. Future videos will be similar, but with different games. Some of them will be more like introducing plus review, others will be more story driven. Hope you stay around and enjoy it. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time.